Last week, I spoke with Bert Hurlbut, Vice President of New Hospital Construction at the Stanford Healthcare, about the new Stanford Hospital. This week, I'll take you inside the project. Chad Reeder, Controls Manager with the new Stanford Hospital, took me on a tour and the entire ConstructTech team of the hospital. Let's take a look. I'm here right now with Chad Reeder, who's the Control Manager of the new Stanford Hospital. Chad, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So, Chad, I'm really looking forward. We're going to head out right now, and you're going to take me on a tour?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go do it.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Chad, tell us a little bit about what you have right here.
So this is our parking structure, and on top of our parking structure, 900-car parking structure, we have what we call our garden roof. So this is basically a office building with a garden on the roof of the structure that will actually blend into the hospital once we are finished with it. And I forget what the current acreage for this roof is, but combined with the hospital, it's 2.1 acres of garden roof between the parking structure and the hospital.
It's a pretty magnificent view right now.
It's a magnificent view. We're in the city of Palo Alto and in the Bay Area. As you can see around, we have the, I believe it's the Santa Cruz Mountains to our west, and we have the bay to our east. And we haven't even gotten to the prize yet, which is the hospital. So.
All right, let's go check out the rest of it.
Excellent. We're on the helistop. This is where patients who are airlifted into the hospital will be dropped off. Behind us over here is what we call the trauma tower. We have elevators that go directly down to the emergency department. Operating room, and so what I call these is our miracle floors. I mean, what Stanford's going to do once we're done, I mean, absolutely, it's miracles. The technology they can do, the curing of patients in here is absolutely amazing. And as you can see, there's enough support around here. We have 5 booms per every OR to support the equipment to do that for the doctors. So we have 20 ORs. And then we added a program system called a DBS, deep brain stimulation, which potentially has the ability possibly to fix something like Alzheimer's or something. A lot of research going in that direction, a lot of brain issues. And then something relatively new is what they call the iMRI, the interoperable MRI, which basically allows a lot of neurosurgeries to put a person into an MRI immediately, almost during surgery, so they can make sure they have everything if they stop the bleeding and things like that in the brain, as opposed to our image-guided, or our imaging is on first floor. Otherwise, you'd have to sew the patient up, put them in an elevator, get them down there, wait, come back. So it speeds up the time for this.
Chad, let's talk a little bit about how technology now is going to be helping with patient care and how it's changed from how the hospital was originally built to how this new hospital is going to help patients.
Sure. So I have an example. My daughter had a fractured femur. So when the hospital was originally built with a fractured femur, you would have spent 6 weeks in traction, followed by about 3 months in a cast. Then you would have started physical therapy, and eventually you may have went home a little bit after that. She was actually in and out of the hospital within a day, and walking on it within a day, because now instead of tearing you all open, going in there and just redoing it, they can do with basically image guided. They can go in and take care of the issue much quicker, much smaller surgery, much quicker surgery, as well as having everything integrated, all the technology integrated here, and having basically an OR like this that allows that surgery to happen.
One of the things you said to me when we weren't on camera is if you were a patient, this is the hospital you'd want to be. Is that how you really feel?
Absolutely. Miracles happen here. Absolutely. The things they do, the doctors here are absolutely amazing. And again, with this technology here, the ability to now look inside the body without opening you up is absolutely amazing.
And one of the things that I think most people don't realize and construction workers understand is what's behind the walls and that you're building as a construction company. Talk a little bit about that, because that's what's really most amazing.
Absolutely. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you basically had a big mechanical system that supported the hospital. Now you basically have this massive IT backbone that supports this whole hospital. You know, everywhere you look around here, this is connected to the network. Everything is interconnected all over. So this is where everything is real time happening, and it's just, again, it's absolutely pretty amazing and how quick the information can be.
The amazing part for you and is all the subs and the trades have to work together, have to use technology to work together, to communicate, to make this work. And it doesn't seem like a timely fashion, but you can't build a project like this without working together. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, absolutely. All the subs have to coordinate everything. From basically the lead will be the framers that come in and lay the walls down, and then you have to have your MEPs come in behind them and put everything into the walls. And then at the end of the day, you got your framers come back to put the sheetrock on. So if they're not working together, we looked over on the other wall as we walked up here, we saw us using last planning, V-planner, basically some pool planning, putting all the trades together in a room and making them work together to basically schedule our project.
What was the biggest hurdle you thought about this project that you had to overcome?
Getting it permitted, keeping the design ahead of construction. Again, since we have to permit so early because of the requirements from the state of California, a lot of times our permits come out with equipment that's 5-10 years old, and we have to, since we are Stanford, we have to have the latest and greatest here. So we're constantly trying to change the drawings as minimal as possible. Unfortunately, it's not always the case, so we can get the latest equipment in this hospital.
Well, Chad, thank you for spending time with us and giving us a tour today on someone you should know. We'll continue on that topic next week. We will discuss BIM, data, tablets, and everything needed to coordinate a project of this magnitude. But for this week, that's someone you should know, or as I've been saying, that's something you should know. I hope you've enjoyed this amazing tour as much as we have. Stick around next week as we have more to share.